Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball, and we're into the second year of the Gaming Decathlon competitions. That makes this week number 1. Rolling over from last week's week 55. We continue on with the journey. Happy New Year, everyone. And on the current season, we are 20 and 6, 11, 10 and 3 in conference, with just 3 conference games left in the season, 4 games overall. Let's go ahead and take a look at who it is we're going to be up against in those final games. We have Nevada at home, 12 and 12, 5 and 8 in conference. We have Peoria on the road. They are also 12 and 12, but 8 and 5 in conference. So opposite of Nevada, and that is a road game, so that's going to be a challenging one. Air Force at home should be a game we can cruise through. Their RPI extremely low at 340, 5 and 19 overall, just 2 and 11 in the conference. We have one super tough game. It is a home game, which gives us a shot here. But we have Charleston Southern, the Pirates here, 21 and 4 on the season, 11 and 3 in conference play for them. Their RPI is 17, and they are also ranked 17 in the nation. They are coming off of 2 straight losses, though, both in conference. So that gives us a little bit of a chance that they're going to be down on some momentum here recently. Alright, and before we get going, quick check here. I've got 2 guys, GPA getting a bit low, so Kevin Milton, key player for us, but I need to take care of that GPA to make sure he can play and remain eligible for next season. Dave Hill, the redshirt freshman, who has no impact, not getting any minutes this season. I have no problem telling him. We'll start with him, give him a call, and we're going to go for the full-blown study more for a month. We're going to tell him, get a tutor for a month. And no suspension. Okay, so we're going to give him the double treatment. As you can see, he's just a half star right now. But Kevin Milton is a key player. 3.5 stars, 9 points per game for us. I've got to get him to take care of those grades, though. So it's a bad time to tell him to get a tutor and study more. We'll go ahead and give him a tutor for a few weeks here. Cannot let that slip below 2. Alright, and finally, before we get into the games, quick look at where we're at. So we are tied with Washington, D.C. on top of the conference. Wright State and Valparaiso are just a game behind us, so it is still very tight. And there are 3 teams in waiting at 8 and 5. So I think Charlotte might be able to be ruled out at this point with just 3 games left. Technically, mathematically, they're still alive. But I think realistically, we're down to 7 teams for 3 automatic promotion spots. If we do win both home games, which we are perfect 12-0 at home, that should seal it. That at least puts us into a top 4 guarantee. And all it takes is 1 loss from Wright State or Valparaiso in their final 3 games to secure a top 3 position. Let's go ahead and get to it. We've got Nevada next. I'm not actually going to watch this game. We're going to watch that next game. That should be an exciting one with number 17, Charleston Southern. So let's go ahead and sim this game. Our RPI is 42 entering this one, so we are looking pretty solid this season, but we are not inside the top 25. We do get the win, and that's going to get pretty close to sealing a top 3. closer anyway. And we are ranked. We are ranked heading into this game now. So 93-55, big win there over Nevada. So we crushed them in the first half and still took care of business in the second half. Points in the paint, 26-10. Fast break points, 12-4. We had a 43-point lead at some point. We won it by, 38? We got 21 points from Chris Monroe. Steele had just 2 points, played just 11 minutes. Wow. Fitz had 13. Waltman had 12. Moore had 11. And then solid numbers on down the bench. Milton had 8 points. Eisenhower had 8 points. Look at that. Milton was a plus 30. Off bench, 22 minutes, so he had a big day. And this is literally the very next day, too. So that's going to make things even more challenging. Charleston Southern did not play. They're 21-4, or remain 21-4. So we are separated by 5 spots in the rankings as new rankings came out today. Valparaiso still ranked. They're at 25th. So look at that. 2 teams from the conference in the rankings. I've not seen that. We're just now starting to get high enough up there. UNLV, who won the title last year, still on top. UCLA in second. So a little different than what we've seen of late, because the last handful of years it's been Notre Dame and Duke pretty much on top. West DC, 19-7. Is that my West DC in the conference? No. Oh, okay. Washington, D.C. versus West D.C. Got it. But yeah, 2 ranked teams now, and Wright State has lost a game. So Wright State has gone down. They are 9-5 now. All these other teams also lost games. So we have 2 games left, which means mathematically we are guaranteed a top 4 finish now. 1 more win, and we're guaranteed promotion. Or Wright State to lose 1 more game. RPI now at 29. Tough game. And now it says we are at Charleston Southern. That is not what my schedule said. It says verse. That says at. Is it neutral? Are we in neutral territory for this one? A road game here is going to be near impossible. Valparaiso also getting one, and quite a few teams. So we've got a lot of teams here in the conference that got into the bracket breaker Sunday games. Now this game means very little. So it says we're visiting. It does say that they're home. The schedule said that we were home. Confused by that one, but we get off to a quick start with a 5-0 lead. 8-2 now. 10-2. So an excellent start to the game here, but they have closed that gap a little bit. Open it back up though. 22-10 there for a moment, so we got into the 10-plus range, doubling up on their rebounds, +2 on turnovers as well. 80% from the field so far. 11 of 13, 12 of 14. Shooting to start the game to open up a pretty healthy lead at 36-17, 38-17. We're over 20 points ahead at this point. Greg Fitz having a big game. 13 for him already. Turn the volume down here on the game a little bit. So let's see. That should be a bit better now. Okay, into the second half, lead has shrunk a little bit, but it's 50-32. We are in cruise mode. Greg Fitz, 15 points on 7 of 8 shooting. He's also got 8 rebounds already. So Fitz having a huge day. He only sits for a moment, comes back in. Good job by coaching staff to step that up. But the lead is suddenly down to 8 points. I'm going to use a timeout there and try to secure things as they are very much getting back into this game here. 8-point lead. Let's go ahead and use another timeout here with 7 minutes to go just to see this thing out. 70-61. Ooh, 3 quick points. 3-point lead. 4-point lead. Slow down here for the final 3 minutes. 77-68. So we just made a couple big buckets to get back ahead with Chris Monroe making the 3-pointer after Andre Moore had the 2-pointer on the previous possession. And Fitz blocked a shot there. So that quick combination stretched the lead back ahead. I think we might have enough here. Monroe's got 18 points on 6 of 13 shooting. Fitz is in the double-double range. He's also got 3 steals and 3 blocks. Huge, huge game there for him. Moore having a quiet day scoring, but he does have 6 assists. Steele having a quiet game, but he's got 7 points and 2 boards. He's only attempted 3 shots. Final 40 seconds of the game. This should be at 81-73. 76 now. They're getting back in it. Let's use... too late. 81-76 final. We do win the game. Not as comfortably as it was. They certainly made a game of it there in the second half, but we got the job done. Rebounding, -2. Turnovers, +1. Shooting was the big thing. We were 55% from the field while they were just 34%. Free throws very much favored them, but both... Well, no, we did not shoot free throws well at all. Luckily, we shot well from the field. Fitz, definitely player of the game today. 20 and 10 for him. 9 of 11 shooting. And we get the win against the ranked opponent, apparently on the road. Not entirely sure whether that was neutral or whether that was a pure road game, especially when the calendar said that we would be playing at home for that one. That was a little confusing. Now that game means little in terms of the conference, but it does mean a lot in terms of the rankings overall, and that should guarantee, win or lose, the conference tournament. We will be playing in the postseason NCAA March Madness tournament. And we should be inside the top 20, I would imagine, after that win, as long as we don't blow it here against Peoria. But that is a road game, so you never know. This very well could be a loss of those final, well, it was 3 games, now final 2 games. This is the one that very much could be a defeat. Meanwhile, our stats are looking even better now. Points per game, 2nd in the nation. Assists now 1st in the nation. And turnovers, 2nd in the nation, with just giving up 11 per game. It's another game. This is our 3rd in 4 days, and there it is. A loss. We go down 86-75 to Peoria here in the game. So don't expect a big jump in the rankings come the end of the week here. Next up with Air Force, that one should be a win, and that's again just 2 days away. They are 6-20. We do drop that game. It will affect our seeding. Let's check the standings before we get into it. How important is this game? It's actually pretty important. We are still not guaranteed promotion. We've got Wright State, who is still eligible to crack the top 3 and get those automatic spots. A win today, and we are guaranteed. And let's see who Washington, D.C., Valparaiso, and Wright State are playing. We are at home with Air Force, Valparaiso, at home with Clarksville. You got to imagine that's going to be a win. Wright State on the road at Western Illinois. So that is a tough game for them. Washington, D.C. at home against a good Pittsburgh Christian, who are 19-8 overall on the season. So of those, Valparaiso and us should be automatics. We'll see if that's actually the case. We've been a little bit streaky this year. Our losses seem to come in bunches, but we do get the win, so we are guaranteed a top 3. 23-7 is our regular season record here. 12-4 in conference. And we'll take a quick glance at those other games to see how they have gone. 79-63 was the final on that one. Valparaiso do get their win. Washington, D.C. do get their win. And Wright State on the road go down. So your top 3 stay firm. There you go. All at 12-4. So 3 teams guaranteed promotion. Valparaiso, us, and Washington, D.C. all going up. The last spot can go to one of these teams here, or whoever wins the conference tournament. And let's see here. So Charleston Southern actually stay above us in the rankings despite our victory. They stay in 18th. We do move up 2 spots though to 21st. That loss is why we didn't move up higher. Valparaiso, meanwhile, won all of their games, and so they move up a few spots to 22nd, just 1 game behind us, or 1 spot behind us in the rankings. RPI is 27th, and that will take us into postseason, starting with the conference tournament. Points per game went back down to 3rd in the nation, but assists stayed 1st. That way there. Defense, not so good, but we are plus 10 points a game this season. And we are into March. But it's not yet time for the madness. Should be just about time for the conference tournament here. And there we go. First round. Pittsburgh Christian with Waco. There's Wright State taking on Weber State. Now, we should securely be into the NCAA tournament, and we should, and we're already guaranteed promotion. So for the conference tournament, all we're playing for now is the conference championship. There's nothing that I need to do in this game. It will affect our seeding, of course, and the better we play, the better the chance of we can get into one of those top 8 seeds and get through that first round. So we've got Pittsburgh Christian coming up. We have played them this year. They do have a nice 20-9 record. You can see though that we are not firm favorites, but we're definitely favorites. And And even though Pittsburgh Christian is 20-9 overall, they were just 9-7 in the conference. But 53rd in RPI on the season, for the season on the whole, which is actually third best in the entire conference. We'll go ahead and sim this game. Like I said, there's nothing to play for here necessarily.
You have new mail.
And we go down. We went down. Pittsburgh Christian gets the win, 77-68. Valparaiso gets knocked off too. Cal Polytech gets the win there. Washington, D.C. wins their game. Wright State goes down to Charlotte. Good thing we didn't have anything to play for here. And we went down in a big way too. Monroe just 5 of 15 shooting. Fitz 7 of 13. Waltman 2 of 8. Good thing we didn't need that game, huh? Washington, D.C. knocks off Pittsburgh Christian. Charlotte knocks off Cal Polytech. So the conference final is between Washington, D.C. and Charlotte, both at 19-10 overall. And the conference champion is Charlotte. Wow, Charlotte gets the win over Washington, D.C. So nobody in the top 3, which also means that Charlotte will get the 4th promotion spot. This will probably knock us out of the top 25, I would imagine. Nobody declared for the draft, that's good. And here's top 10 for Player of the Year, with the Notre Dame player, the favorite to win it. Alright, let's go ahead and sim the week. There's nothing left to go until we actually get to Selection Sunday. And still not there just yet.
You have new mail.
So some final season tallies before we get to the tournament. Chris Monroe, 15.6 points per game, leading the team. Andre Moore, 5.3 assists per game. Fitz, 6.8 rebounds, 1.2 blocks, and 1 steal per game. So Fitz definitely our defensive starlet and our second best scorer. So Fitz, big year for him. And on to Selection Sunday. Now, we are actually not guaranteed a spot here, but I would imagine, being that we are ranked 23rd still, that we should be in the tournament. Okay, playing games. Washington State at just 16-15 actually get into the tournament. Alright, and now into first round games. UCLA gets a number 1 overall seed at 28-2. Syracuse, Connecticut. There's Charleston Southern, a 5 seed. And that could be right around where we are. And yes, we are in the same. We might rematch Charleston Southern in the second round. We get a 6 seed, and DLS, I'm not sure if De La Salle, there we go. So De La Salle at 19-11 get an 11 seed. This is Boston region, so we're going to have to travel quite a ways for that. And a dangerous matchup. Interesting. Okay, Maryland also in our bracket. Nashville and Memphis. Big matchup there. And now on to the next ones. We'll just speed through this here. Alright, so we are in it for the national championship again this year. Meanwhile, Charleston Southern is all the way up in 15th now. Valparaiso is 23rd, while we are 22nd. And here's that scouting report. So, De La Salle playing in Conference H, which that's where I'll be next year, yes. And they are 19 and 11. We've got the advantage at shooting guard over Waltman, but Monroe's got an advantage. Fitz has an advantage, and our bench has an advantage. Close game. Really, this is not anything guaranteed. I mean, look, they are all upperclassmen, while we are very young. I have 0 seniors on the team. Still make his favorites to win this first one, but not heavy favorites in any way whatsoever. So CBI games, Washington, D.C., Peoria. They both get wins. And here we are, De La Salle. Let's jump on in. We're going to get the tournament started. We are healthy. That helps. And we get the quick start, scoring first. And we're up 8-2 early on, 10-2. Nice way to start the game, but De La Salle takes time out and gets back into things pretty quickly. 17-12, 20-15. Quick look at stats early on. No turnovers to start the game. That's nice. 75% shooting to start the game. And that's the reason for our small lead, but it's grown a little bit. 5 of 10 from 3, and they are a perfect 3 of 3. So both teams shooting the ball pretty well early on. Rebounds are level. Turnovers +3. That's one thing definitely helping us. Ten-point lead here with about 4 minutes to play in the half. Milton doing well. Perfect shooting. 10 points. And halftime score 52-37, nice 15-point lead. So we are looking pretty good here with 1 half to go in this first round matchup. Monroe's got 11 points. Burns has 7 there. 4 rebounds for Monroe. 61. Game got quiet here for a little bit. Defense is taking over. 63-48. Rebounds +2. Turnovers +2 now. We just had 2 or 3 turnovers here in the last minute or so. Might be a cause to use a timeout. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Good use of the timeout. We quickly pick up 5 points. Nice job free throw shooting. 18 of 20 on the day. 3-pointers over 50%. And now we're up by 24. So we're going to cruise to the victory. I'm not even going to slow it down here. Brian Steele's got 12 points. Final score 86-70. 86-70. So nice, comfortable win there. I did not see Fitz at all, though, late in that game. Hopefully he did not get injured. Okay, no sign of an injury. That is good. So Milton had 16, Monroe, Moore, all in double digits. Hearns had 5 assists. Steele had 12 boards. Waltman had a couple of blocks. Next day, Charlotte got in with the conference tournament victory, a 15 seed to take on Florida. Pittsburgh Christian got in. They are an 11 seed. And Valparaiso, I expected them to get in. I knew Charlotte would get in. I did not expect Pittsburgh Christian, but they had a pretty good RPI, so they get in as well. So that's 4 teams from the conference. I've definitely not seen anything that high in this game as of yet. So you can definitely sense that our conference profile is really starting to rise as we are now in Conference I, which is the 9th tier. We'll be in that 8th tier next year, where you take on teams like, not Charleston Southern, the team we just beat, De La Salle. Alright, let's go ahead and get through this day. It looks like we've got UConn up next.
You have
they are the number. So UConn beat Charleston Southern? Were they ranked that low? I thought... Oh, no. They were a 5, we were a 6. That means we get the 3 seed. Yeah, and there you go, 3 seed in the second round. Okay, Charlotte upsets the number 16 in the nation, Florida. The Florida Gators go down to Charlotte. So Charlotte continues their amazing run right into the tournament. They were a 15 seed, weren't they? Pittsburgh Christian goes down. Valparaiso lose by 1 point to Bowling Green. But us and Charlotte get through to the second round. And let's check out what we've got. This is going to be a tough game. We have similar records, but you got to figure UConn's going to be one of the top. Yeah, Conference A. Conference A. So one of the top dogs. Okay, normal paced offense. 5 out. Press a little bit. Man to man. So they play very much a man-to-man style. They've got a couple advantages at point guard, so more disadvantage there. Waltman's level. Monroe is the better player here. The freshman over the senior. That's nice. Especially a Conference A team like that. But Seals at a disadvantage. Fitz is level. Our bench is better, so that's good. I'd say we have a chance, but you'd probably pick UConn, and I probably would too. We've got the offense to get it done, but do we have the defense to shut them down? Balanced scoring. So we take on number 13 team in the country in this one. We're up there too. So I definitely wouldn't rule us out entirely. But I'm going to go with about a 40% chance that we win this game. And let's get things started. UConn scoring first, but we do have a lead here. 6-6 after a couple minutes. Doing well grabbing rebounds here early on. 2 of 10 shooting, though. Meanwhile, they're just 2 of 7 themselves. And we do actually have a bit of a lead here. 16-8 at the moment. Neither team shooting the ball well. We're 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Just 1 of 6 beyond the arc. 20-17. 23-19. 26-19. Back-to-back threes there. Okay, go ahead and use the timeout and see if we can't build a little momentum before the half. 33-28, 5-point lead with a couple to play. But here they go, they're coming back on us. It looks like we might go into halftime with a lead. 38-35. They immediately start the second half though. Strong. We're -3 on rebounds, +3 turnovers. Just 35% shooting. If we shoot the ball a little bit better, we very well could be in this game. Free throw line helping keep us alive, but both teams are right about even on there. And it's 46-53, so a bit of a deficit. Let's try to use a timeout here to gain some momentum back. If it'll let me take one. There we go. We trail by 10. Trail by 10. That's not good. Back down to an 8-point lead, though. A little bit of momentum. 61-67. Okay. Use another timeout. That's all my 30s. All I have left is one full. And let's slow down for the final 2 minutes of this game here. So we trail by 10, 76-66. Monroe's got 19 points and 10 boards. So big day for him. But Fitz is struggling. Just 2 of 7 shooting. Down by 8, minute and a half to play. Not looking good for us. Rebounds, -4. Turnovers, +2. Never shot the ball well, just 36% here. Minute to play, down 10. Down 8 as Moore gets the 2-pointer. If we get the ball back here quickly enough, I will use a timeout. We've got some momentum. No, we're not getting the ball there. They're working the clock, 30 seconds now. All the way down to the last shot. Moore gets the rebound, though. Take the timeout. 20 seconds. We need a quick score here. We need a 3. Fitz gets a 2, but with just 10 seconds, 8 seconds, that's going to do it. 5 seconds. We get the rebound at the last second. Final score, 78-72. We go down in the second round against a very good UConn side. We were certainly competitive, and next year, I like our chances even better, as none of these guys are graduating. They are all coming back. Hopefully we don't see regress like I see so often. Poor coaching staff, besides myself. Poor facilities. Both of those have improved a bit, but not a lot. We've got to raise our profile more. Getting up to Division 8 certainly will help with that. But that wraps up our season. I'm not going to wrap up the episode just yet, though. Let's go ahead and stick with it long enough to see who is the NCAA championship for champion for this year. And here's Charlotte, who made it into that next round. 15 seed against 10 seed Bowling Green. They've actually got a chance to get through another round. They do not, though. Bowling Green knocks them off. Down to the Sweet 16 now. Peoria and Washington, D.C. actually played each other in that next round of the CBI. D.C. gets through. D.C. last team alive here in the conference in some sort of postseason tournament. And they take on St. Louis, a.k.a. St. Louis. DC gets the win, so they again remain alive. Let's go ahead now and check in on the tournament here. UConn gets knocked off by Syracuse 76-62, so that would have been our next destination. UCLA knocks off Colorado. Real life Pac-12 counterparts. That was a tight one. And meanwhile, Syracuse loses to UCLA 76-68. So the number 1 overall seed makes it into the Final Four. Detroit, it's New Mexico over Indiana, the 3 seed getting to the Final Four. In Houston, it's UNLV. I think UCLA ended up getting the number 1 overall. UNLV gets the second number 1 seed, and they beat Pittsburgh to get to the Final Four. And in Boise, it is Oklahoma State, another 3 seed, beating the 1 seed Providence to get. So Oklahoma State down there, number 12, and it was New Mexico, number 14, into the Final Four. Those games still have yet to be played. They'll be this next week. Here's Washington, D.C.'s next round against Provo. We'll see how deep they got. I think they lost that one. They do, 73-66. Saw the score flash. Let's see the CBI, which is the 3rd tier of the 4 big postseason tournaments: NIT, CBI, CIT. I believe CBI is College Basketball Invitational. Oh, that was the final! Oh, dang. So Washington, D.C. gets to the final and goes down against Provo, which I would imagine Provo is BYU, Brigham Young University. It is in Provo, Utah, I think. I believe so. Back to the NCAA, though. Let's see what we have. All right. I would imagine the semifinals have played now. No, not yet. Oh, that was the April 1st changeover. Now we have the week changeover. And there you go. UCLA goes down in an 81-79 loss to New Mexico. But UNLV beats Oklahoma State pretty comfortably. 12-point victory there. So the finals between New Mexico and UNLV. So, big Southwest matchup there.
You have new mail.
And New Mexico, the 3 seed. So, coming into the tournament, ranked 14th in the nation, just 27-8. New Mexico goes on the run of a lifetime from a 3 seed to win the NCAA tournament for this year. 82-69 is the final. On to the awards. We'll go ahead and check this part out before we wrap this episode up and see what we got. Let's check out just conference, as I've not reached that point yet where we are in any kind of contention for national awards. Buckner wins Player of the Year for Peoria. Freshman goes to Chris Monroe. 15.6 points per game, 1.7 assists, 4.5 rebounds. Our team leader and Freshman of the Year for Conference I. Marcus Cobb for Valparaiso wins Defensive. Anthony Boozer for Valparaiso wins Coach of the Year. And here's your first team all-conference players. Monroe makes it to first team all-conference. And so does Fitz. So I get 2 players into the first team all-conference. I doubt I'm going to have anybody else here in contention, as those were definitely my two team leaders this year. And sure enough, we don't have anyone. But another freshman made it to second team all-conference. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.